Senator Paul's campaign is simply in disarray. Some of his advisors that work for his father as well have now been charged with corruption. That can't help him. And his message on foreign policy has hurt him. Would all that be fair to say, Mr. Cirilli?
You know, Bill, I think that's a great point. I mean, clearly the energy that captured the attention of the country, and at one point Senator Paul was named the most interesting man in the Republican Party, has somewhat dissipated in the crowded Republican field. And I think the point you raised about Senator Paul's father, former Representative Ron Paul, is an interesting one, because Ron Paul, of course, the libertarian rock star, if you will, Senator Paul has tried to be a little bit more mainstream, but in doing so, I think that there are a lot of questions about his foreign policy. I would expect him tonight to try to explain himself a little bit more on foreign policy as well.
Now, I have said, and I'm not as an expert like all the other guests tonight in politics. I certainly cover it, but I don't chase these guys around and look at their position papers. I have said that Rand Paul is the most likely candidate tonight to attack Donald Trump. That he's the guy that might go after Trump and get all that attention that comes with doing something like that to try to recharge his campaign.
Well, Senator Paul's campaign told me that there are three areas I think that we can expect him to focus on tonight. The first is, again, he's going to try to talk about that foreign policy as peace through strength. The second is his wonky economic policies. He has a 14.5% flat tax plan.
Right.
I think he's going to talk a lot about that. And lastly, Bill, I think he's going to try to make the case that he is the best person to expand, if you will, the Republican brand in areas across the country where, quite frankly, we haven't seen Republicans make inroads, including more urban areas.
Yeah,
the libertarian justice reform.
Right,
yeah.
But if he gets wonky, you know, he's going to be lost. Again, it's 10 people, your head's going to blow off if each of them give you a position paper. So you don't think that he's going to go after Trump, huh? You don't think Paul's going to do that?
I think that what he's going to try to do is try to position himself for more of a longer-term strategy. I think that he's going to try to recapture some of the energy of the earlier days and highlight, again, that stand with Rand type of feel. But, you know, again, it's such a crowded field. He's had a tough time to catch on with regards to the Republican base because you've got more conservatives. So where exactly he fits in the mix, he struggled with that.
And the other struggle he's going to have is he's going to be on the defensive from the jump because, you know, the moderators are going to ask about the corruption deal. You know, you got three top, you know, I don't know if it's three, but you got a couple of your top guys. You know, the cops are saying that they're corrupt and they're taking money and moving it around. You know, that puts him on the defensive right away. And no candidate wants to be there. Last word.
And we've seen Senator Paul in earlier interviews kind of struggle to communicate in tense media environments. I think that he'll look to pivot to Hillary Clinton scandals, which I think he would argue pale in comparison to his own.
You know, that would be smart. And I've never seen him verbally struggle, Paul. He's pretty articulate and gets it out. He gets a little ruffled if you come after him, but you know, he always makes his point as far as I know. Mr. Cirilli, thanks very much. We appreciate that. On deck, Chris.